I think every version of Spider-Man that we have met has been cast perfectly. I absolutely love Daniel Kaluuya as Spider-Punk. He voiced him so well because he's the coolest, man. Hey everyone, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse and also part 1 of Beyond the Spider-Verse. And I think it's been said over and over again. This movie is bloody phenomenal. It is phenomenal, okay? For all you comic book fans, for all the Spider-Man fans, we thought that like Into the Spider-Verse was like a definitive Spider-Man movie. We thought that No Way Home was like the definitive Spider-Man movie, but Across the Spider-Verse does so much more than both of them put together, and it just raises the bar in storytelling in general. Now, as we all know, animated features offer something that live action films cannot offer, and that is the imagination to put the story together visually. The visuals here are the most important. In Into the Spider-Verse, they did like an old-fashioned homage to comic books, comic book panels, like the POW and the Wham and all of that stuff. They were very vibrant and loud, those images. So we had that in the first one, and the sequel has elevated that style to show the comic book panels, but in the modern way that they have designed them. So it's also a testament to comic book artists and how comic books have evolved throughout the years, because we have X amount of Spider-Man from like all over the place. And they add that to the stylistic elements of this film, which was very impressive. Within the very first frame, we are in Gwen's universe. We're in Spider-Gwen's universe. And I love that there was such an emotional storyline with her, because we didn't get that Into the Spider-Verse. It was just like a little touch of Spider-Gwen. So we got more backstory on Spider-Gwen. I thought that this was very well written for everyone. Every story was told properly, no matter how long it ran in this film or how short it was. They did every single Spider-Man character justice. So from the very first frame, we get a look into her universe, and there's like a lot of pinks and purples and whites to complement her suit, which I really enjoyed, but it felt like it was like watercolors. I like that it felt like it was painted in the background, and then she was more three-dimensional. Then we cut to Miles Morales. Miles is easily becoming one of my favorite characters ever. He's so fun. Shameik Moore just does a great job with the voice acting. He's so fun. The line delivery is great. But with Miles, he's trying to multitask. He's trying to be a good son. He's trying to be a good student. He wants to get into the best schools, but he also has this like adult responsibility for Spider-Man, but he's not an adult yet. So he's been struggling with that. And obviously his parents still treat him like when he's 15 years old, like he could get grounded, which is very funny, but Spider-Man can't get grounded. So I like that they kind of worked in the responsibility of a teenager and then versus the responsibility of Spider-Man. So he can do all of these like dangerous things and go out at night and, look for bad guys. But at the same time, it's like he has to be in class. He has to write an essay to get into university. It's just the fact that he has to balance this and he doesn't know how, because he can't tell his parents. So the roots for Miles Morales is really important in the second installment. I think that's the heart of it. I mean, he talks to his mom, and his mom gives him great advice. Obviously, as a Black Latino, it's completely different. He has to navigate the world in a different way, and that is what is discussed in this film. And she knows that the world isn't going to maybe give him the same love that his family's going to give him. So she really drives that home and drills it into his brain that you may not be accepted everywhere like you are accepted in our community, which is just so loving and beautiful. And I love that they had the party for his dad because he's going to become captain soon. And you get to see how loving and how big the family is. And I really enjoyed that. So you have that in the first half of this where Miles is trying to understand how his parents are basically parenting. and he doesn't get it because he's a kid, and that's fine. He's a teenager. He feels like he can, break out. And it's almost, again, like the same coming of age story, but he's, coming into his own as Spider-Man. You have the ground level work for this character, and I think that he has one of the best character arcs, by the end of this film. You'll understand what I mean by that. He's a very strong character arc, because at the end of the day, it's not just about being Spider-Man. It's about being the best person that you can be, that makes up being Spider-Man. So without getting into spoilers, because I just don't do that, I was very impressed with the storyline heading into Across the Spider-Verse as we get into the realm that they're in. And they, we meet Miguel O'Hara, we meet Spider-Punk, and I loved all of that. I think every version of Spider-Man that we have met has been cast perfectly. I absolutely love Daniel Kaluuya as Spider-Punk. He voiced him so well because he's the coolest, man. And I love that they kept his accent, because he never gets to keep his accent in a movie. And like, this was perfect. It was just absolutely perfect. So I love Spider-Punk. Miguel O'Hara, absolute perfection. Loved his animation. His character design was flawless. Oscar Isaac, voice acting, top tier. So damn good. We didn't get enough of Miguel O'Hara, but I really did love him in this. In Across the Spider-Verse, without getting into too much detail, apparently there are anomalies that can damage the stories of certain Spider-Men. So they have to look for these anomalies and lock them up so they can't do damage to whatever universe they are in. So Miguel O'Hara leads this like spider society, this elite society that they go hunting for said people. On this society, we also meet a pregnant Jessica Drew, who's played by Issa Rae, and she killed it. I loved her. Her suit, the motorcycle, my God, I could like watch her all day. Absolutely fantastic as Spider-Woman. Loved it. So Gwen joins the Spider Society after, what had happened. She had a conversation with her father that just kind of upset her. So she's like, hey, peace out. I'm going to be recruited. I'm going to go. So she slowly finds out what Miguel O'Hara is doing. She's like traveling through universes because she has this watch, which is really cool. And she goes to visit Miles. And they have some really good conversations about like Spider-Man and other universes and how, they fall for certain people and like it's fate, but also bad things happen. So we learn about these anomalies, and Miles, obviously being the adventurous person that he is, heads right into the Spider Society and the Spider-Verse. And it's a wonderful adventure. But on this journey, he finds out a lot about himself. He finds out a lot about different Spider-Men. And I think there's one scene in particular that I really loved in this movie, and it was the cannon scene. I won't get into too much detail, but that cannon scene is a moment that for all Spider-Man fans, they will love and appreciate what they did with that, especially through the animation and how many layers there is to this Spider-Verse that they can do. I felt like constantly moving between different animation and different set pieces, really fascinating, because you're able to make it bigger and better because it's animated. That is the important thing here. So Miles, again, comes into himself. He becomes the hero that he always wanted, but there's a price. And it is just so devastating how this movie like turns out for this cliffhanger in order to get to Beyond the Spider-Verse. So I absolutely love this. I think it is a fantastic Miles Morales story, and I think he's going to have one of the best like comic book movie trilogies just because of what they discuss for Miles, for Spider-Man in general as the character, and the way that they have perfectly described the multiverse, which is something that the MCU has not done. I'm just very happy that they were able to openly discuss it and show audiences what the hell the multiverse actually means, because they did such a great job with that one particular canon scene. So visually, is it beautiful and gorgeous and interesting and even emotional with the images that we're seeing on screen? 100%. Do they honor comic book artists that have modernized these characters, that have created these amazing panels? Of course they do. It's like it's jumping out of the page. It's nonstop action, constant camera movement all over the place. But the grand scale of the multiverse is truly felt. And that is what has been missing in live action, because you simply cannot do it. I watched this on an IMAX screen. I was blown away. Okay, blown away. The comic book panels with the different colors for designated characters, designated Spider-Men. Okay, you have Spider-Gwen with these pink and like rich blues, and then you have Miles with his like these dark greens, because you kind of know something is going wrong. And this is towards the end of the film, which I love because they split the panels between both of them. And I thought the editing here was really well done. It does run long. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. You do feel a bit of a lull in the middle, but it picks right back up just when you feel like it's starting to like slow down a bit. And then the last 20 minutes, I was in shock. Okay, like what they did in the last 20, I was very impressed with, and I cannot wait for Beyond the Spider-Verse. I am so excited. This is the best movie of the year, my friends. Everyone is fantastic in this. The whole voice cast did exceptional work here. Sony Pictures Animation, I'm saying it, no one's doing it like them. I could get 50 more comic book movies through animation. Forget about live action. Y'all are missing a big opportunity. I know it takes very long to make these films, but you're missing out because there is something that live action just cannot do. And that is the power of imagination and the endless possibility of what you can do visually on that screen. And that is the joy of watching Across the Spider-Verse, because those comic book panels, those storyboards essentially, are jumping right off the page and they're moving for us. And it's exceptional work. I'm giving Across the Spider-Verse a 5 out of 5. This is my first 5 out of 5 out of the year, and it's fantastic. There are plenty of references. There are a lot of Easter eggs that I was just like, oh my God, like it was just a good time. And if you're a true Spider-Man fan, this is going to be the best thing that you're ever going to see. It is just absolutely fantastic. And I'm excited for the future of this character. I'm excited for Miles Morales, and I'm excited for a live action Miles Morales because my boy deserves it. He absolutely smashed it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Spider-Man movie is. Right now it's this one. Right now it's this one. It was No Way Home, but right now it's this one. And that's crazy. They keep upstaging. I don't know what to do anymore. It's so hard. But let me know in the comments below. You guys can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And if you want to help me grow this wonderful community, there are ways to do that in the bio below. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.